Howdy all, welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time to play a little Infi-Tech 2. Alright. So, as you can see, I am on the planet. I would take a couple of trips out and back to get enough fallen meteors. I actually found like two together a couple of times, three together one time. So that was nice because there was like seven of them. All in fact, the last one I found was two together. And but I had flown apparently so far away that I don't know where I'm at. I am miles from home in brand new territory when I came back on my rocket. So, I guess today is going to be a hike across new terrain as I try to make my way home. What are you, little gourd garden there? It's crazy. I thought it'd just take me back to where I was before. I normally had gone back. Hopefully, I've got enough meteorite not to have to go back to the moon though, because keep making stuff over and over again is not fun. Since I never seem to get a launch pad when I land. At least I remember to hold the spacebar this time, or the last couple times, so I don't crash into the surface of the moon. Unfortunately, I've used up all the power in my armor while I was on the moon. So, yeah, this is a walk back. Just crazy. This is crazy. What's this over here? You little moss stone blocks over here. Oh, you're boulders. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot that was a thing. This must be a magical forest. I didn't know magical forest spawned with moss stone boulders in it. I mean, I probably did. I just never paid enough attention to it before. You know what it is? It's the texture pack. I haven't seen these in this texture before. Must be what it is. I'm used to the cobblestone, mossy cobblestone boulders. All right. It's a long way home. Yeah, I don't know. Oof. This is quite the tree here. What's this? You're a crazy looking deal. What is this thing? Look, the biggest oak tree ever right there. The things you see while exploring. I yeah, I'm hoping I've got enough meteor iron to make the tier 2 rocket so we can go to Mars. Hopefully Mars works better. Since Mars is Mars, you can mine meteoric iron if I remember correctly. Although it's been a long time. I should get out my ore book is what I should do, and then that way, once I have my ore book, I can figure out what's going on. I haven't quite remembered to check the ore book to see if there was anything on the moon that I really wanted to try and find before I stopped going there. I don't ever plan on going back at this point. I mean, I lost a quarry, I lost a fuel loader. There's still like a fuel loader and a solar panel up there, but I ain't going back. Not if I can help it. Look, here's another one of these big weird trees. Some kind of giant oak tree, I guess. I I'd hope to get enough time to actually get back and put together uh, the Tier 2 rocket before I started playing today, but I guess we're gonna do some family things since it's almost Christmas. We usually watch certain Christmas movies if we get a chance, and so I don't know how much free time I'm gonna have, and I don't want to be recording at 11 o'clock at night since tomorrow is our big family Christmas, and I gotta be up pretty early for it. And hopefully I can get to bed before I did last night. Man, I was up till 5 a.m. this morning. I'm pretty sure I woke up at like 11. There's another one of those giant oak trees. Maybe I've seen it before, I'm sure. Just everything looks weird because I'm not flying. I haven't been out here. What is this? Oh, it's just a little plant. I thought it was a rabbit or something there for a second. But yeah, I was checking out the new Will Smith movie, uh, and I was trying to find. Well, no, I I don't know why it took me so long to get started watching it, but I didn't get started watching it till like 2 a.m. I liked it. It was pretty good. It probably wasn't 2 a.m. I'll bet I was watching it at 2 a.m., but I think I started before that. But it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. Uh, it's especially with all the D&D I've been playing. It felt like a D&D game, honestly. Uh, I don't want to give any spoilers, so I'm not gonna. But it's kind of reminded me of like one of those cop movies where they're in gang territory and they've got the witness they have to keep alive. I think 16 Blocks maybe was a movie where the cop who's suspected of being a dirty cop is uh, got a really important witness and has to get him through like police attacking him and um, gangs. I don't know if they're gangs in 16 Blocks. I think it's all dirty cops. I don't remember. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie, which probably means I'm thinking of the wrong movie. But I've seen a half a dozen of those kinds of movies where they got to work their way through gang territories to keep the convict or whatever alive so they can get to the court case. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, except um, they live in a world where elves and dwarves and orcs live side by side with humans in a modern setting, and so Will Smith plays a police officer who's been assigned the United States first orc police officer, and so everybody hates him. The orcs hate him, the cops hate him, because the orcs are clans, and so they have problems fitting into society because they try to remain as individual clans, which basically makes them a gang, I guess. And so there's parts of the city the cops don't really want to go into because it's full of orc clans, and then there's a Latino gang in the movie. I forget what they were called. All I can think of is amaretto, and I know that wasn't it. Isn't that a tea or a coffee or something? I don't know. Amaretto, I think is what I was thinking. That's not what they were called. They were called something else, but I don't remember exactly what it was. I only watched the movie once. Anyways, it was good. It was really good. Um, I mean, it wasn't amazing or anything, but it was fun and it had pretty good pace. And I there wasn't really anything about the movie I disliked. I've seen a lot of people not liking it because they didn't go into depth on the backstory of the world. Um, but I'm like, it's not even a 2 hour movie. Of course, they didn't go into the backstory of their world. They had to go with the story they were given. I liken it to what they call a one shot, which is in D&D. It's where you do a short one afternoon play session story, so you don't really get a lot of backstory, and you're just kind of thrown into the action, and you try to survive whatever is happening for that particular one session. And it's not your normal characters necessarily, and then once it's over, and it has nothing to do with any other story kind of thing. But, dude, No, no, this is not that game. This is not that game. I totally do not need to fight Enderman because I do not need Ender Pearls in this game. You know what I do need to do though is look at my map and figure out that I need to go to the right to get home. So, or no, the left. Well, it was my right, I guess, from the direction I was facing. So, yeah, no, it was pretty good. It's I guess the backstory they gave, I don't know why. Backstory they gave was just there's a prophecy that they'll, if they can get these wands, they can resurrect the Dark Lord who was thrown down 2,000 years ago, and so um, wands are super powerful in this movie, and if you can't use a wand, you die, and pretty much everybody around you dies, and and you can't tell if you can use a wand until you try to use a wand. So uh, that's what makes it fun because they are afraid to touch the wand because it kind of explodes everything around it. But it was good anyways. I'm gonna stop talking about it now. I really find it to be fun. My friend he disagrees with everything immediately. Like like most people I know. Most people I know in real life, when they ask for my opinion or I tell them I like something, they tell me why I'm wrong, and it gets old. And so I'm like, hey, dude, I watched Bright. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. His response to me was, it got a C minus on the site I go to for reviews. So, thanks. I'm glad your site that I totally disagree with almost every time because we don't share the same taste in movies. Disagrees with me. I was just telling you, since you like that kind of stuff, you might enjoy it because I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, he has a tendency to use the web pages to tell him what he's supposed to like. It seems like he also does a lot of telling you about things that he's never actually read or seen because he uses the Wikipedia pages or forums where they discuss it to tell you why you're wrong about what you just read or watched. Uh, yeah. I didn't have an opinion one way or the other about the site he uses when he first started telling me how they rated things, but I remember one time he came up to visit his family, and so he stayed here a couple of days, and um, they do anime reviews as well. And so we were looking for some anime to watch because that was one of the things we used to do. Is he'd come over and we'd spend a couple of days burning through an entire series for an anime, and so he went on his site and looked for their top-rated anime that we hadn't seen yet, and so he found a couple, and so we went with one of their like number one on their top 100 ever, and that was about the only time I've ever used that particular site to choose something. I hated it. It was terrible. And I'm like, dude, I'm glad they like it, but I cannot let them pick anything for me because they obviously have a way different opinion on things than I do. I try not to let things like web pages and stuff make my decision for me anyways. When it comes to things like books and movies, I feel like you really gotta watch it yourself or read it yourself, because opinions are, reviews are so subjective when it comes to things like that. Like, you go to check out an electronic thing you want to buy, and you read about the electronic thing, and 75 people are all saying the same thing about how some component that you were excited about sucks, and it'd be better if you just went and bought a different brand. That's a little different than this was the best book ever. So even though I say something is amazing, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be amazing for other people. I understand that, but to not even be willing to believe me, and we do like some of the same things, so I feel like our opinions on these things shouldn't be that different, but to always go to that website that gave us that terrible, he hated it too, terrible anime as their favorite anime. Subjectively terrible. I'm sure my brother loved that anime. I hated it. It was I want to say Eden of the East is what it was called. I hated it. It was terrible. My brother told me about it one time and how he loved it, and I needed to watch it. My brother and I have very different tastes when it comes to stuff like that, usually. He doesn't watch a lot of anime, and honestly, I don't know anyone who has the same particular taste I do for anime. I really like mecha, and I don't know anyone who likes mecha, and it makes me sad. Because I watch a good mecha, and then I'm like, oh, you gotta see this. And they're like, oh, is it one of those mecha things? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, we don't like mecha. Really? All of you? Every single person I know? You don't want to watch mecha? It's like my 7-year-old nephew is like talking about how having giant robots fighting giant monsters, and I'm like, ooh, dude, you gotta come watch this mecha anime with me. I don't really like those cartoons about the giant robots. That's all you've been talking about for 3 days. Yeah, but that's different. How is that different? How can you not enjoy watching the mecha anime? I don't understand. And then he goes and he watches Naruto, which I know lots of people like that one, and I do not. I actually watched part of Naruto, Naruto The Next Generation, yesterday, and it was not. I just don't like it. I was watching. I don't know why I am so off onto anime. I was going to talk about something else, but I was watching the best fights of 2017 on this one website, and ooh, I think I'm almost home. And the best fights of 2017, the summer, best fights of the summer of 2017. And one of the fights on there was a Naruto fight, and I was like, I could totally see how the concept of that is cool, but the implementation of what actually happens in the scene, I didn't enjoy. I didn't enjoy. It's I just don't like that kind of humor that is ingrained into Naruto, uh, and which is probably why my taste is so different. Because I just don't. I actually had this discussion with my mother about what were we talking about. I just remember talking about how the humor in it made me not enjoy it, and I couldn't stand watching it. And oh, I don't know what's going on there, but I don't want to be here. Is it summoning a guardian? Okay, now I'm curious. Oh, oh, dang it! It's guardian. It's guardian. Let's get out of here. I was waiting for the guardian to spawn, and then it didn't. Oh, hey, this is where I had my miner for my pitch blend underground. Hello, familiar temple. Man, I wish I could remember what we were talking about. That I said I didn't like the humor in it. I don't know. It's not that I don't get that it's supposed to be funny. It's just it doesn't make me laugh, and it never has. I know I thought my sister hated the movie Goonies, but apparently she now likes the movie Goonies. Although I had been fairly certain she disliked the movie. I disliked the movie Goonies, and she decided to get it for her kids. And then she's saying she never disliked the movie Goonies. But I remember when she used to hate the movie Goonies as well. Just a very rewrite your story history of things. Uh, and uh, and so she was just telling them how I hated Goonies, but she liked it, and she didn't watch it very often because I hated it. But we don't even sit at the same television most of the time, so there's nothing stopping you from watching whatever you want, just as long as you don't ask me to watch Goonies. I don't like that kind of humor. Like I don't like what's that guy's name? Yep, I'll never remember. I can remember what he looks like because I'm great with faces, terrible with names, and but he has like the Young Frankenstein movie and Spaceballs. Mel Brooks, I think. Um, I think he's the one that did those. I don't like those. I don't think they're funny, and I think Goonies is the same kind of thing. Like it's like we have a story that could be a serious story. We have a story that could have humor in it, but instead we're going to take the story and we're just going to make it goofy for goofy's sake. And I don't enjoy it. Oh, man, I feel much better being at home with my stuff charging. Okay, now here's the trick. Here's the trick. I need to know, do I grind this? I do. Alright, sweet. I hope I got enough. I hate to have to go back. Alright, I grabbed my rocket launcher, or my launch pad from the crate. Oh man, you know what I didn't grab? My fuel canisters. I left them on the moon. Dang it. I don't want to go back. I'm not going back. I'll just make more fuel canisters. In fact, you know what? Let's not even put that on the launch pad. All right. Sometimes I do find stupid things really funny, though. I remember the first time I watched Napoleon Dynamite, I hated it, and then one day, back when we were in college, or was I in college when Napoleon Dynamite came out? Back when my sister was in college, maybe. Her friends came over, and at that time there were 2 televisions in the house, mine and the living room television, and so they wanted to watch Napoleon Dynamite, and so I played on my PC while they watched that, and so they watched it. They watched it a couple of times, and I didn't want to see it the first time, but the second time they played it through, I don't know, I really started to get the humor, and I find that movie to be pretty funny. But like most stuff, like Scary Movie and that kind of stuff, I just don't get it. It does not strike me as funny. It just doesn't work for me. And there's nothing wrong with, I don't have a problem with people enjoying that stuff. There's a couple of them in the house here where I live that just love that kind of stuff. As long as I don't have to watch it too, you can watch whatever you want. I don't make you watch what I want to watch. I can suggest it though. It's like my sister's favorite science fiction genre is urban fantasy, and so I'm like, you are probably going to want to watch Bright because that is urban fantasy. And she probably won't because I suggested she did. She'll just stick with her. What is she watching right now? Criminal Minds, I think, is her thing. No, Scandal. She wants me to watch Scandal. I'm like, that just didn't seem like my kind of show, to be honest. No, you gotta watch it. You'll love it. I'll give it a try, but only after I finish my current show. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I didn't really get anything done today. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy your holidays. My family celebrates as a group on the 24th for Christmas. So I guess this will go up the day we celebrate our Christmas. And then I have no idea what my New Year's plans are. I know Christmas Day, Christmas evening, I guess not day, we are supposed to stream our D&D one shot. So that's where I'll be Christmas, probably. But yeah. Anyways, click like, subscribe, and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.